Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails through Daybreak, where last time we ended Act 1-B with Swin and Nadia, and today we do Act 1-A with Van. And it looks like the other characters we have are Judith and I think that's Quatre?
Damn, where'd that brat go?
Hunt him down! We can't let that lead slip, no matter what!
Dad.
In Messeldam.
Shit! Turns out these bastards are the shoot first type. I'll draw their fire. In the meantime, you...
Well, this went sideways fast. Still, we can't just let them get their hands on that key.
What the?
Gun her down already!
Pull it together. I have to get this lead to Ron. Woman in black? What are you doing here? Follow me, we're off this boat.
This way! Get a move on!
And cut!
Flawless take, girls! Judith, you were fantastic. And Nina, sensational! This scene, where your characters first meet, is gonna be a major highlight. And the camera's loving that foxy, skin-tight jumpsuit. Ooh, it's the perfect fusion of eros and savagery.
Director, could you maybe inject a little less sexual harassment into your feedback?
It's an honor to finally be a part of one of your films, Mr. Gotti. These action scenes are so intense. You're quite the visionary.
Don't understate your own talent, my dear. Not everyone could play a role like Michelle.
Miss Lanster!
Oh, crap.
Excuse you?
Well, hello, Dominique. Nice of you to come visit us on location.
Of course. Even in my glory days, I always preferred a hands-on approach.
So, this is Judith's grandmother.
Besides, how could I miss the rare opportunity to observe my granddaughter's acting up close and personal?
Oh, I guess I better pull out all the stops.
Two of the most popular starlets of today, coached by Dominique Lanster, a celebrated singer of yesteryear. This is shaping up to be one hell of a movie.
It's a crossover between Golden Blood and Wolves Requiem, correct? That alone is enough to draw anyone in. What else did you expect?
Holy cow! I've never seen the special effects come together so quickly before. And the way you sync the footage is spot on. Where'd you learn this stuff, kid?
It's really nothing special. I'm a researcher at the Basel Institute of Science, so computers are second nature to me.
Ah, Kato's our special effects guy, yeah?
There's a lot of overlap between video editing and the visual analysis we do in observational astronomy.
Huh. We got a regular boy wonder here. The rest of you better start taking notes.
Yes, sir.
Remind me, Van. How exactly did we get wrapped up in this?
Good question. Several hours earlier.
So this is Messeldam's harbor district. It's a lot more developed than I expected. Now where's that address Van gave me?
Your destination is roughly 200 ards from your current position.
Right, it should be just around that corner. Okay, you two, let's be on our way.
Oh, there you are. Long time no see, Quatre. What's it been? 2 months now?
Just about. It feels nice getting to chat face to face instead of over comms. I'm really glad to see you and Judith haven't changed a bit.
Right back at you, Quatre. Are you sure they don't need you at the Institute, though?
Oh, I've already finished my compulsory courses for the semester. I even had enough spare time to upgrade Theo and Zeros.
My processing speed has increased by 15%. Quatre worked hard on it.
That's our little whiz kid for you.
Wow. So you made their AI even smarter, huh?
I also added a few new features, but that's probably more than you would care to hear about. Come to think of it, aren't you in the middle of shooting a film, Judith?
Yeah, production started on location in early January. It's a crossover between last year's two big blockbusters. Directors Gotti and TLoH are collaborating on it. We're only working on Gotti's part right now, but the casting crew's really getting into the swing of things. That means I'll only be able to investigate between shoots. Sorry, Van.
Hey, no skin off my back. I'm just happy you're willing to help. But you know, you really don't need to bother if your schedule's packed.
The bits and pieces I heard about what happened at the Capitol are already too much to ignore. Do you mind filling us in on the details, now that Quatre's here?
Yes, I'd like some clarification on that whole affair.
All right, I'll try and keep it short and sweet.
So that's how things went. It's almost too surreal to believe. A dark red beast that resembles the Grendel and Almata's legacy. That demands our attention, especially if first Genesis reacted. No kidding. I borrowed this one just in case, but to be honest, I don't know how much use it'll be. True, they tend to only glow in Agnes's presence. That strange phenomenon you mentioned is another point of concern. Wish I could explain it better. It ain't easy to put into words. Huh. Doesn't sound like we have much to go off at this point. Is the capital safe at least? Yeah, I left Agnes and a few other folks I can trust to hold down the fort. If worst comes to worst, Elaine's there too, so they should be fine for now. Understood. Then I suppose the three of us should get to looking for Almata's legacy. Right. It's been too long since I've seen some real action. And I'm not about to turn a blind eye to anything involving Almata. Besides, even on a tight schedule, I've always found time for a sidekick or two. That's right, a case like this is nothing for Judith Lannister. Let me at him. Did something happen to Judith since we last met, Van? Grammy put her through the ringer when she got home back in December. Sure, I made a lot of mistakes lately, but who hasn't? I'm doing my best here. That whole scandal with me and Maxim wasn't even my fault. And yet, even Mom won't stick up for me. If I don't start showing some improvement front stage and backstage, I'll never hear the end of it. I don't think I've ever seen Judith like this before. Her grandmother must be terrifying. Oh, look who's this. And we're just talking about him too. Right here, how's it been, Director?
Van! Oh, boy, am I glad you picked up. Judith tells me you're in Messeldam right now.
Sure am. Let me guess, you in some kind of trouble?
I'll say. One of our actors is running late. If we don't act fast, it'll mean major delays in our shooting schedule. And wouldn't you know it? Today's supposed to be Nina's first day on the set. We'll need need a stand-in, but the role takes a fair bit of physicality, so as far as viable candidates go...
Are you asking what I think you're asking?
I know it's short notice, fan, but be a good sport. Think of it as a little favor from you to me.
For real? Despite Van's initial reluctance at the director's request, Gotti's relentless passion eventually convinced him to accept. With Quatre's help, the filming went off without a hitch. The playback looks good. Let's take 5, everyone. Port Capriccio. Act 1A. You sure saved my ass, Van. I had no idea you were such a talented stuntman. We have to shoot some pickups when Ethan gets here. The whole day would have been a bust without you. That fight scene you choreographed for us was the cherry on top. Heck, I ought to get you and Quatre on staff. Nah, it was no big deal. But out of curiosity, do full-timers get access to unedited cuts of the adult scenes? Okay, that's enough out of both of you. Oh brother, the job does seem fun though. By the way, what's Grammy up to? Oh, she's having Nina run lines for the next scene. I'll tell you this much. Bringing her on board really lit a fire under our asses. Dominic Lanster, the biggest chansonnier of her generation. Even after retiring, she still has a finger in every corner of her business. Apparently she'll only take on jobs when the mood strikes her, but any production she touches becomes a massive hit. That's an impressive resume. She sounds like a woman of many talents. Grammy coaches everything from stage and screen actors to professional athletes. She even has experience planning large-scale events. It's all done behind the scenes too, so the industry sees her as a legend, a real genius in her field. Would have thought we'd end up working with her here in Messeldam. I take it you didn't hear about it until the last minute either, Judith? Well, the good news is, now we've got a cinematic masterpiece of the ages on our hands. Keep an eye out for the premiere. I gotta run, but I see to it you get paid in a few days for all your help. Now as for the director, Ezra, I hope we will be able to lighten the load if nothing else. For sure. In fact, you bought me some time too. With today's shoot out of the way, I should be free until evening. Alright then, I think we've hung around here long enough. You two ready to roll? First things first, we need to track down Almata's legacy. Cause that's easier said than done. We should be able to sniff out some clues in town though. Let's make the rounds and see what turns up. I look to poke around Almata's old stomping grounds in particular. Right, as far as Messeldam goes, that place tops the list. Oh, and I've spread the word about 4 SPGs like you asked, so we might have a few of those to do. Good looking out. While we're at it, we might as well stop by the White Whale Inn. There's something in my room that I wanted to show you guys. You must mean the new software from Marduk. Very well, we can drop in at some point as we work through our requests.
Alright, I've got my disguise on now, so I'm good to go.
That could win an award for the worst disguise in history. Didn't you do the same crap in Edith?
How on earth did no one recognize you?
Let's collect all the rewards first. It's not much, but every bit helps, right?
Oh man! I can't believe I get to see a real starlet up close!
Are you still not satisfied with the scene, Mr. Gotti? I can tweak my performance however you like. No, you played your part to a T, Nina. It just feels like we need a little je ne sais quoi to tie things together before cutting to the climax. No shame in asking for advice if you need it. The whole point of this blockbuster crossover is to raise support for the survivors of Quay Village, right? Knowing that, I'd like to help in any way I can. Looks like Grammy and them are ironing stuff out. Let's not butt in, they've got enough on their plates.
I never realized there were so many people involved in making a movie.
Yeah, it's not just actors and directors out here. Takes a village to make the magic happen.
Oops.
I hope I can get their autograph.
The pretty canal.
Detective Nate?
Arkwright Solutions?
Well, look who it is. You're a detective. Nate, right? Nice to see you.
Right back at you, Judith. Fancy meeting you here. I guess those rumors about you being in town for a shoot were... Hold on a second! That doesn't explain what the rest of you were doing in Messeldam.
They're here on a work trip, same as you, I'd wager. Let me guess, tidying up after Almata's turning out to be more than just a year-end job? Boy, you really know how to hit the mark. I gotta tell you, rounding up every organization on their fringes is a slog. We've been making arrests ever since we arrived early last month. Worst of all, we've got 6 of us guys grinding up one room at the inn. It's like sleeping in a sardine can. He's going off on a venting session. Works for me, let's see if we can get him to spill a few beans. So they brought in Edith's best and brightest, huh? The brunt of the investigation must have been a breeze after that. Well, what can I say? It just comes easy to me. But the police can't take all the credit. The Guild and CID are in high gear on this too. Naturally, we've cleared up all of Almata's stragglers. Same goes for any group with so much as shaking hands with. So we can just focus on filming worry-free, Judith. That's good to hear. So in other words, they haven't found anything worth mentioning. If that's the case, why haven't you gone back to the capital yet? Well, we're talking about a pretty wide-reaching mafia here. And there's still a few bits and bobs that need clearing up, like the finer parts of their cash flows. But hey, that's just a tiny slice of it. We've got most of the rest on lock. That's what makes us the best and brightest. So I see. Guess that means people in the know about Almata's legacy are in short supply now. Well, that gives us the gist of things. It is up if you get any new info, Mr. Best and Brightest. Sure thing, leave it to me. Wait a minute, why should I have to share information with you guys? Sure took him long enough. Don't sweat the small stuff. We'll deal with Märchengarten another time.
What do we have here?
A prized possession. About 9 years ago, I happened to lose a childhood treasure of mine in Messeldam. I know the idea seems a little far-fetched, but I'm hoping it's still somewhere in the city. Would you be willing to help search for it? I'll be waiting for your answer at the chapel, Francisca.
Indeed. This place seems different from the rest of the town.
These are the back streets of Messeldam. I hear this place is kinda sketch.
Makes sense. Almata's old HQ was right around here after all.
Hey, big boy. Wanna have a little fun?
Anything turn up on your end? Not yet. Where the hell is that damn brat? There's lookouts posted at every way in and out of the city, so he's got no place to run. We'll find him if you have to turn over every last rock in the streets. Someone's coming. You know the drill. What's up with those two? It sounds like we're in the middle of a manhunt. Something smells off about this. Let's just focus on our investigation for now. We still need to get a handle on the situation in Messeldam.
Hey, big boy. Wanna have a little fun?
This isn't your everyday establishment. Maybe not, but places like these are a surefire bet for Underworld intel. That's about the size of it. Would you ever wait outside, kiddo? There's no need to coddle me. It's only the middle of the day, so we'll just take 3 mocktails. By the way, sir, didn't realize bars even offered non-alcoholic drinks. Depends on the joint, but it's not too uncommon while it still lights out. Hey, this is pretty tasty, just right for an afternoon pick-me-up. I have to agree. You've got some killer skills, barkeep. That's very flattering, sir. I'm not just talking cocktails, by the way. Huh? It's hard to tell by looks alone, but you're packing a lot of muscle under that uniform. I also noticed the glances you sneak at the door on customers. That's more vigilance than a typical bartender needs. My take's that you double as this club's bouncer? I'm lost for words. Are you perhaps involved in some form of detective work? That's one way to put it. You wouldn't happen to be an ex-Jäger called Robson, would you? I heard your story from Dingo. You were acquainted with him? That was a telling response. So you knew each other too? Yes, as you presumed, I'm Robson. Dingo has done much for me in the past. A shame what became of him. So you already heard the news. Even now I struggle to believe it. Since you were a close friend of his, it would be my pleasure to accommodate you in whatever way I can. That being said, I would advise you not to bring his name up in front of the owner. Did something happen between them? In a sense. You see, our club's highest earner used to be a hostess with the name of Mistress. That's the lady from a Blacklight district. Mistress, huh? I know she and Dingo got acquainted when he was in Messeldam. But it sounds like there's more to the story. I can't discuss this too openly, but at the time Mistress was being blackmailed into doing the owner's bidding. Dingo was the one who pulled every trick in the book to secure her freedom. It would seem the owner harbors a grudge over it to this very day. Damn, that's a hell of a story. What brings the investigation here, if I may ask? I would be happy to answer any question you have to the best of my ability, Mr. Call me Van, I'm a brigand from the capital. Ah, the one from the rumors. I'm here in Messeldam to find something, so we're out doing a little info gathering. Have you noticed any sketchy developments here lately, particularly in relation to Almata? The police are scouring the place as part of their own investigation not too long ago. But as far as I'm aware, they didn't discover anything of note. In truth, however, the owner has worked with Almata on numerous past occasions. It was only ever to line his own pockets, however, so he is likely ignorant of their inner workings. Even if he weren't, he's crafty enough to keep the police from delving into him too deeply. So he actually gave him the slip? Sounds like interrogating him wouldn't get us much of anywhere then. There are many others in this town that are also connected to Almata in some shape or form. In most cases, however, it was that they were either threatened or exploited. The only people who truly know what went on in Almata would be those who worked directly under them. But the way I understand it, each and every member was arrested at the end of last year. That's the extent of my knowledge. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Not at all, that gives us a much better grasp of things. Yeah, you definitely saved us some trouble down the road. That pleases me to hear. We'll hit you up again if we need anything else. Heck, even if we don't, we might just stop by for some more drinks. I'll save you a spot at the counter.
Hey, big boy. Wanna have a little fun?
Ah, you're here too. According to our intel, this should be Almata's old headquarters, but this isn't exactly what I was expecting. Zect Arms Messeldam branch, huh? Yeah, after the place got abandoned, it fell under police jurisdiction. Once Almata was out of the picture, they put the building up for auction and another company snatched it up. Some people just have too much money to throw around. They even did some remodeling by the looks of it. The sign up there says Zect Arms. Wait, didn't they show up in Rassian? Oh great, those guys. To the public, they're just an up-and-coming manufacturer, but dig deeper and crooked practices abound. Rumors that they develop and produce illegal weaponry, distribute archaisms on the black market and more. Dingo's notebook even mentioned that they're suppliers to Almata. They also have an axe to grind with Master Barkhorn. Didn't realize you've been investigating them too, though, Quatre. I couldn't help myself after everything that happened. Still, to think they would buy up Almata's old property... It's definitely shady, but it's not like they're working directly under Almata. Yeah, all bad dealings aside, the company was founded outside of Calvert. On top of that, this building's been searched by the police several times over. Can't really see them leaving any traces of Almata behind. Which probably means no legacy either. Oh well, want to try something else? Yes, let's.
Okay. Next shift for
Why is there a new one showing up? Well.
Sorry. Pardon me.
Well, someone's in a hurry. So much so that he failed to notice us in his way. Wonder what had him so worked up. He was headed for the back streets. I'll be worth taking a look around there later.
Gotta have the mirror if you want the good stuff.
Hey, big boy. Wanna have a little fun?
Damn brat! Giving us the runaround!
You'd best hand over that briefcase if you want to get out of here in one piece.
Oh yeah? Sounds a little overkill to me. How's it hanging, fellas? Pretty ballsy raising a ruckus like this in broad daylight.
Clearly, you're no upstanding citizens if you're pointing a blade at a child. So, what's it gonna be? Wanna try your luck with the cops? Or us?
Shit, it's that Spriggan from the capital. And he's got his lackeys with him.
Oh?
You know about us? Word of our 4 SPGs must have clued you in. Evidently, we can't be too careful.
And let's get one thing straight here. I am not his lackey. I'm barely even an employee.
Liking makes a difference. Anyone who gets in our way is gonna end up 6 Sarge under.
Their weapons. These punks might be on the same level as Jaegers. No need to hold back. Let's beat them down quick.
Roger that.
Deploying shards!
Beginning combat test.
Activate and drop.
Here goes.
Use a shard boost to get the upper hand.
Pressure him and move in.
Give him your all.
Over here. Over you.
That's far enough! Optical cannon!
You're dead.
Now or never.
For sect arms.
Make it count! Here's a little more!
Finish him, Van!
It's go.
I've got you covered.
Dice you up.
Off guard. Okay, so temporary hit points.
I won't lose! Initializing drive. Judith!
You're not getting away.
There!
Catcher, your turn.
Forgive me, champ developer. It's go time.
Give him your all.
Have some more.
Off guard.
I'm going!
Forgive me, Chief Developer.
Our chance!
Forgive me, Chief Developer.
So these guys with exact arms based on their combat voices?
They weren't all that tough, but their firearms sure packed a punch.
That they did. If my suspicions are correct, those weapons might be...
You alright, kid?
Yeah. Not a scratch on me. I'd have been a goner if it weren't for you three. Thank you so much for saving... Whoops!
There they go. All over the street, too.
Slow your roll a sec, alright? It's not like we're gonna run off on...
Van? Wait, that's...
Genesis?
Luca, was it? You said you're looking for your old man?
That's right. It's been about 3 months since he went missing.
Luca.
It wasn't all that unusual at first. He'd always hop from job to job doing whatever work he could get. But eventually, I knew I had to track him down. Even Mom could tell something was up. Dad left this briefcase in his room, and I figured it might point me in the right direction. But then...
Those shifty-looking men appeared, and they've been tailing you ever since.
Backstreets or not, they wouldn't have cornered you like that unless the situation called for it. Don't you have any idea what this is about?
Not that I can say for sure.
That's so. Sounds to me like his pops got tangled up with the wrong side of the law.
I've been meaning to ask. You guys are professional problem solvers, right? Maybe you can help me find my dad? Or, better yet, we could all go look for him together.
Luca.
Except, I don't have much Mira on me. Aw, now what do I do?
Financial troubles aside, those thugs might try and come after you again. I'd feel a lot better if he had an adult with him, but... What's your call, Van?
There's definitely more going on here than meets the eye. But I'm sorry, Luca. I can't take your case.
Is it because I don't have the money? Or because I'm still a kid?
Nah, that's not the issue. The fact is, your dad's been MIA for 3 months. This is exactly the kind of thing the guild and police are equipped to handle. Better to go to your local authorities before resorting to some spriggan from out of town.
I get what you mean. It's just...
That's an odd reaction.
Huh? Chin up. Who knows? We might stumble into some info on your dad out there. In which case, we'll get in touch. How's that sound?
I'm a little disappointed, but... I understand. Let me know if you hear anything. Anything at all.
It's a promise. But in return, you have to promise us not to run into any more danger alone. Deal?
Deal! You guys stay safe, too.
The innkeeper will watch over him for the time being, so we can rest easy. Yeah, not much room for an armed assault with all the foot traffic this place gets. So, do you think Luca's dad was caught up in something shady? Without a doubt. These streets won't turn squeaky clean overnight just because the Mafia was wiped out. Messeldam's always been on the rough side, but that recent shift is making more waves than ripples. Luca getting jumped will be just another aftershock of Almata's big fall. I had a hunch this would lead back to them. It's bound to whenever the underworld comes up. The biggest tip-off was a photo. It was our first Genesis, with one Agnes has. Couple that with Luca's pops having criminal ties in the city Almata called home, and it all points to one thing. You think his father was part of their ranks? But aren't all of her members in custody? Almata was a huge syndicate. It's not impossible that a few stragglers slipped through the cracks. Not to mention the city was their base of operations for a long while. So they'd have plenty of spots to lie low. This is just getting better and better. It bears investigating. We might learn something of the legacy in the process. But what should we tell Luca? He seemed to be unaware of what his father was involved in. Then again, he may have had an inkling judging by his reaction earlier. Yeah, no matter how well his pops kept things on the sly, Luca still hesitated when the police and bracers came up. I'm not sure he was the stomach to unmask the whole ugly truth. Not enough for us to take on his request at any rate. That's just a spring away, I guess. So what's our next move? Well, we can't afford to drag our feet with those goons closing in. No way around it. One of us gonna need to flex our connections. What are you looking at me for? Hold on, you don't mean... The very first Grimcat and the faint chansonnier of bygone days. Even as a retiree, she seems like a powerful ally to have in our corner. I'll admit, Grammy does stay on top of what goes on behind closed doors. She's practically got a sixth sense for when something fishy is brewing, no matter how big or small. To this day, she'll go sticking her nose into other people's business whenever the mood strikes her. Wait, I think I'm starting to get it now. Yep, chances are her sudden interest in your latest gig isn't just surface level. It's at least worth asking her about. You're not giving much of a choice, are you? Grinds my gears to lean on her, but it's probably our best bet right now. I knew you'd come around. Shall we head to the shooting location then? Though, now that I think of it, didn't they say we're going to move somewhere else? Yep, assuming things are on schedule, they should be pretty close by. Let's go take a look around.
Oh!
Leave. Okay. Then we do the side quest first. For the rest of the episode. And next episode we take a just talking look around. Franziska. So this is where you were. Franziska, right? You want to put up a Force PG? Force PG? Then it must be the Spring, yeah, from Arkwright Solutions. We just happened to be in Messeldam for some business. Anyway, not to jump the gun or anything, but can you fill us in on the details of your request? Of course, I'm so glad you're here. Let's discuss this where we won't disturb the others. So your request said you wanted us to look for something important to you? What would that be exactly? Right, I suppose it's the best place to start. I'm looking for a music box, one with a little ballerina on top. It has a crank that you can turn to play music. The ballerina will even spin as if she's dancing. Oh, I've seen those before, they're so cute. I agree, it was incredibly dear to me when I was a little girl. You see, my father was a busy man, and because I didn't get to see him very often, he decided to have a gift made for me, to remind me of his love. That sounds like he cared for you a great deal. He did, yes, but unfortunately there came a time when we had to depart from Messeldam. I had no choice but to leave a music box behind. It's been on my mind ever since. I've always longed for the day I could come back and look for it. It's only now, 9 years later, that I've finally been able to visit. So you're trying to find the music box while you're still in town? Yes, of course. There's no guarantee that it's still here, but if there's even the slightest chance... Even if you can't find the music box itself, any information on where it might be would be more than enough. Does this sound like something you could help me with? Well, I think I got the gist of your request at least. You had no choice but to leave it behind though? Sounds like something crazy must have happened. Yeah, that does seem a little strange. It's not exactly hard to bring a music box with you. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. There's really nothing more I can say, I apologize. Well... Listen, if there's stuff you feel you can't share, I get it. I mean, dealing with complicated matters is practically our whole business. But at the end of the day, you can't really expect us to head out on a search for some music boxes without having all the info. I didn't mean to... No, I'm just making more excuses. Hey, you didn't have to be so rude about it. Not like I don't get why you're skeptical, though. Is there a reason you can't ask the police or bracers for help? I prefer not to complicate the situation personally. I only want my music box back. I did think about trying to find it on my own, but I'm a bit hesitant to go wandering around town. Look, I really would like to help you out, but it's ultimately up to our leader here. What do you think, Van? Let's see. She's got reservations about telling the truth, but it doesn't feel like it's because of a life or death situation. Still, something is bugging me. Not that it stopped me before, per se. Alright. We'll take a case. We did go to all the trouble of putting out a Force PG. Plus, it might be nice to do some extra legwork while we're in town. Thank you so much. Words can't explain how much this means to me. So is there anything else you can tell us about this music box? Seriously, any info at all would be helpful. Well, my memories can be a bit hazy at times, but I try my best. As I mentioned, it's a music box with a little ballerina on top. I think it was made of ceramic? Yes, if I remember correctly, I was told it came from a famous workshop here in Messeldam. Oh, you must mean the Orbital factory across from the public bathhouse? Sounds like that should be a place we should start asking around. Well, let's get going then. Gotta strike with the iron sword.
Time to go solve some problems.
Good.
What a pretty canal.
Ah, the office here. Oh, not a bad choice at all. Ivan really knows what he's doing as the current proprietor. No doubt Esther Milk was a quality find or two. Well, what do we have here? You're one, yes? We went to each other a few times last year. You're also a patron of our workshop, as I recall. Rebecca and Chris have been treating you well, I hope? Oh, that's right, your children run Stanley's factory in Old Town. We've been getting by, more or less. How about you, Felenkov? Still leaving the work to your kids so you can run off and play? In a manner of speaking, I was in the mood to scout for hidden gems in the north this time, but that takes me up to the winds to the side. Guess the time since we last met hasn't dulled that free spirit in you. Maybe rein it in a bit, though. I bet Rebecca and Chris would appreciate it. I have a bit of a history with the previous owner of his workshop. Ceramics were actually just one of the many fields he dabbled in. As a matter of fact, he introduced me to a variety of rare handicrafts and clockwork curios. It's my first visit since his grandson took over. I have to say though, Ivan's aesthetic sense is no less promising. Welcome to Levinsky Orbital Factory. Would you like to browse our wares? Our workshop has been creating these traditional northern-style ceramics for generations now. They require the use of delicate techniques and have received much praise over the years, a fact that we are very proud of. We also do some consignment sales and orbital maintenance on behalf of certain arms companies. That they trust us with these duties reflect their faith in those aforementioned techniques we've mastered.
Let me ask you something.
Ah, music box of a ballerina, again, huh? That's an interesting action, you know something? Funny enough, I happened to come across some old paperwork on it recently. So yes, I do. Well, that certainly makes things easier. Let's start with the simple stuff. I'm guessing it was your shop that made the music box? That's right, it was actually crafted by my grandfather, but the request for it was made roughly a decade ago. The order slip mentioned it was a present for the customer's daughter who wanted to be a ballerina. Money didn't seem to be an issue for the man who ordered it though. Imagine he must have been a real up-and-comer. That's why my grandfather felt so much pressure to make it perfect. He poured all his know-how into this thing. I don't think there's a single piece he was more proud of. Sounds like this was more of a luxury item than I thought. It really is. Considering the last time I looked it over, I imagine it's still priced at 100,000 mira. His craftsmanship was like no other. Wait, you've seen it before? Yep, just last month actually. I'm not sure if it pleased you to hear this or not, but an antique dealer brought it in. He wanted me to refurbish some parts of a door that fell off. Talk about the coincidence. I only realized it was my grandfather's work when I noticed his signature on the back. That's what got me digging through our old documents in the first place. Anyway, your best bet is probably going to be that antique dealer. No telling if he still has the music box though. Right, if the repair was last month, he may have already sold it. I suppose we should at least try to find him though. Yeah. You know if a guy's still in my area? Well, I've seen him around, sure. I'd be careful if I were you. He's not exactly known for being the reputable type. What is that he buys some of his goods through the black market? I've even heard that he has dealings over in that underground club in the back streets. Black market goods, huh? That doesn't sound great. Well, it's the only lead we've got right now. Come on, let's head to that club. Thanks for the info, Ivan.
Next up, we have our music.
That Club Barracuda? It is. Almata's downfall hasn't changed the owner of his place one bit. I wonder who's going to make a party out this year. Not that it's any of my business. I'm just here to make as much money as I can while he keeps the doors open. That's the long and short of it.
Got a question for you.
Normally this wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I've got a feeling the owner won't take too kindly to us asking lots of questions. Might be easier to see if any of the dancers know something. Excuse me, miss? Oh, got a tip for me, mister? Feel free to put it anywhere you want. That's not what we're here for. If possible, we'd like to ask you something. Quatre might act like he's all grown up, but he's still just a kid, huh? Quatre explained that we're looking for an antique dealer. Oh, you're looking for that guy, are you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's here today. Good, sounds like we're in the luck. But where is he? I haven't seen anyone matching his description so far. Hey, the guy that just walked out of the bathroom. Yep, that's him. He's probably got some business with the owner today. Stops by to sell his wares here every now and then. Uses this place as a sort of hunting ground. Finds suckers who are into buying old junk and pulls them into another room for sales pitch. So yeah, he's a little shady, but he's also a great tipper. That makes him okay in my book. I see, thank you, you've been very helpful. Alright then, let's see what this guy's got to say. It hits the spot. I'm feeling a mite peckish now. Might as well order some snacks to go along with my drink.
Let me ask you something.
Music box with a ballerina on top? Damn, I finally get it off my hands and now someone takes an interest. You sold it? Yep, gave it to the new owner a few days ago. Sorry, Paul. I was afraid of that. I figured it wouldn't be so simple. Mind telling us who you sold it to? The original owner's looking for it. The original owner, huh? Sheesh, I don't want nothing more to do with that mess. It was some old lady. Pretty sure I saw her wandering around over by the docks this morning. I think she was wearing a yellow scarf. Thanks for the tip. By the way, what did you mean by get it off my hands? From what we heard, the former owner of the Orbital factory put a whole lot of effort into that thing. The old man was pretty famous at his trade, wasn't he? I kinda expected people to be banging down your door for it. Yeah, well, I thought the same thing. Hell, that's why I bought it in the first place. I even brought it down to the club to try and sell it to somebody who might be into antiques. Only thing is, every one of them told me that music box comes with a lot of baggage. Baggage? What do you mean by that? Sorry, lady, if I tell you, I'd be wrapped up in it myself. Anyway, to make a long story short, if I couldn't sell it to some sleazebag, I figured I'd just target your average Joe instead. And that's how I finally managed to get rid of it. Not sure I feel about you selling something with a sketchy history to the general public. Anyway, we should try and find that old lady and see what she can tell us. Yeah, if we're lucky, she might be willing to make a trade. Sounds like a plan. He said she was over by the docks, so let's go take a look.
In winter, isn't it?
Gazing out the ocean never fails to refresh my mind.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, a music box of a ballerina? Why yes, I actually just purchased something like that the other day. Looks like we're on the right track. That music box brought back a fond memory of mine. I was so moved when I saw it, I thought surely Hades must be guiding my hand. You said it brought back a fond memory. Well, you see, I used to teach ballet several years ago. I suppose it's been over a decade by now. One day a little girl I used to teach brought in that exact music box. She said her father had given it to her and that was her prized possession. Oh, you should have seen the glow on her face. I was a bit surprised by how lavish it was, but just seeing her enthusiasm was enough to make me smile. How lavish? Unfortunately, a lot happened after that. Her family was separated and everything in their home was auctioned off. When I saw it, I could hardly believe something so dear to her had been sold along with everything else. I thought, why not buy it myself in case I get a chance to return it? Her family was separated. I wonder what happened. Wait a minute, the girl you're talking about must be... Yes, there's no doubt about it. Did the student of yours happen to be named Franziska? How did you know? I think I'm getting a clearer picture here. Vaughn told the elderly woman about the request made by Franziska. Goodness, what a wonderful coincidence. It seems Adias really was calling me to buy that music box. My house isn't very far from here. Let me go and get it for you all. That will be great. Sorry again for all the trouble. If you'd rather not make the walk by yourself, we don't mind tagging along. One of the others helped the old lady back to her house to retrieve a music box. After that, the group headed to the chapel together to see Franziska. Oh, my old ballet teacher. I thought I'd never see you again. It's been far too long. I've missed you so much. If no one else, I always hoped I'd at least get to see you again someday. I felt the very same. Though it may be a little more than happenstance, I'm so very pleased to see you again. My, look at how you've grown. You've become such a fine young lady. I see you're still just as quick to tears as when you were little, however. Oh, you. A reunion after 9 young years. I'm getting a little misty-eyed myself. She must be overjoyed. Sorry to interrupt your get-together, ladies. But I've got the music box you were looking for right here. Mind checking to make sure we have the right one? Oh, I'm sorry. I was so wrapped up in the moment. Let me take a look. Yeah, yes, this is it. That's the one my father gave me. It's beautiful. I can tell your dad really cared about making you happy. The melody is rather nice as well. The crank turns just fine, so there's no need to worry about the inner mechanism being broken. That's a relief. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have this back. And to think you even brought my old teacher along. I don't know how I'll ever be able to repay you. Thank you so much for all you've done. No thanks needed beyond the fee for our services. You know, I actually thought that music box might have been that other thing we were looking for. But I didn't catch a single whiff of anything fishy, so I guess not. Huh? You thought this was related to Almata? What in the world made you think that? It's just a nice gift from her father. Franziska, It's okay, ma'am. We're just fixers who happen to have a few run-ins with Almata in the past. It wasn't until we were in the middle of investigating that I started to realize what was actually going on. I see. So you figured it all out already. To be honest, having to keep it from you was starting to eat me up inside. If it's okay, I'd like to explain. Yeah, I'm still a little clueless over here, so that would be great. Several years ago, my father was the most powerful man in Messeldam's criminal underworld. His name was Enrique, Almata's former boss. Enrique? Why does that name sound so familiar? I think it was written in Diego's notes. I see, so your father had a music box made for you over a decade ago, when a year later Dantes took over Almata. I suppose all this took place while your dad was still at the top of the underworld then? To be honest, the rumors I've heard about him aren't great. You're right. My father did many horrible things while he was with Almata. He used to be a trader, but his craftiness got the better of him. That eventually led to his takeover of a mafia. These days, he'd be considered a big player in the grand scheme of things. It was a time when he was feared even outside of the city. However, my mother and I only ever knew him as a kind and gentle soul. Just like what he did for me with a music box. All he ever wanted was for us to be happy. Well, people aren't always what you see on the surface, that's for sure. Yes, even so, the people of his town hold his name in contempt. To this day, there are many who carry a grudge against him. I was scared of what they might do if they found out who I was. And that's why he didn't want to ask anyone else for help, right? Yes. Hold on. We read something in a few notes a while back. It said that all of Enrique's family and connections were killed. The truth of the matter is that Franziska was the only one who survived. 9 years ago, my parents risked their lives to help me escape. However, in a town completely under Almata's control, there was nowhere for me to go. That's when an informant came to save me. He told me it was the least he could do to make amends for selling info to Dantes. Hey, that sounds like Dingo. Yeah, it must have been him. Only somebody Dantes thought highly of could have gotten her out alive. I suppose that makes sense. Wait, you know Dingo? Yeah, he was working in Edith as a reporter for a while. Still did informant work on the side though. Me being a Spriggan, it made sense for us to do business, but in some ways he was also kind of like an older brother. This has been an incredible day of coincidences. I owe him a debt of gratitude as well. You see, several days after the tragedy befell our family, Dingo appeared to me once more to say, Franziska wanted me to tell you something. He wanted me to know that she was safe, but warned me to act as though she were dead. Ever since then, I've kept Franziska in my heart. I could only pray that we might meet again someday. I see. Makes this reunion all the sweeter. Is it possible that Dingo's still in the capital? I always hoped I'd be able to find him someday. He introduced me to a family that took me in as a foster child. Even for his connections, I might never have had a family again. Fortunately, searching for him while Almata was still around was too dangerous. I've always regretted never telling how grateful I was. Well... What's wrong? The thing is, Dingo passed away. It happened last year, while he was trying to follow up on Almata. In the end, it's because of the information he left us that we were able to fight back against Dantes. Oh dear. The guy was one hell of a reporter, that's for sure. He even helped me out sometimes too. A lot of what I know is through hearsay, but he seemed like a really great guy. Remember, he saved Marielle when the politician targeted her for digging into his affairs. Yeah, he was the kind of guy who was always one step ahead of everybody else. So flawless you almost hated him for it. And he cared about other people to a fault. No matter what happened, you always knew you could count on him. Based on what he did for you, I guess he'd always been like that. Yes, even though he tried to feign disinterest, I could tell he was a gentle soul. But why? Why did it have to happen to someone like him? I lost everything because of Almata and now Dingo too? Never even got to thank him. Oh, Franziska. I know it hurts, dear. Everything will be alright. Wherever he is now, I'm sure he knows how you feel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get so emotional. I'm sure he meant a lot more to you than he did to me. You've got nothing to apologize for. It's good to know there's one more person out there who misses him just as much as we do. I'm glad I finally found the courage to come to Messeldam. I've gotten back so much of what I lost. Irreplaceable things, and it's all thanks to you. And despite knowing that Dingo is gone now, even if I can't thank him in person, the least I can do is continue to live my life looking forward. Sounds like a good plan. I'm sure that's what he'd want for you too. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Yeah, I'm glad we decided to take on her case, though.
That's all, folks.
Mira deposit confirmed.
Good, but with that I would end the episode. Next time we take a quick look around Messeldam. And after that we continue main story? I think so. Oh no, wait. After that we do Making Garden. And then main story. Yeah, that's the plan? Good. Until next time, man. I'm Mace and don't get lost.